Hello, welcome back, Steve's Retirement Corner. Working in retirement. I know that sounds like two words that ought not to ever be used in the same sentence. But man, don't discount getting a daggone part-time job in retirement. It might be just what you need to elevate your game in retirement and make it truly enjoyable and great for you. Man, I get emails, comments all the time from people that telling me about a part-time job they've gotten and how much they love it. You know, it gives them, keeps them learning something new, keeps their mind active, their body active, gives them social connections. You know, the money is just a bonus on top of all that. You know. Man, I understand, man. I remember when I was younger, 25, 30 years old, people were retiring, talking about going and get another job. But when they retired, I couldn't understand it. All I wanted to do was get the heck out of there. I had no desire to be there. But once you retire, man, I say it all the time, everything changes, man. You see things from a different point of view. And the key is not to have to take a part-time job in retirement. If you have to, it's a totally different story. But when you ain't got to and you choose to do it, it's something you want to do, man, it don't feel like working, man. It really don't. It's more like hanging out. It's not something you're wedded to. You can quit at any time because you don't need it to begin with. You're there for some other reason than the money. Man, I've had a lot of different daggone part-time jobs over the years. You know, some of them I even got actual health insurance and 401k through part-time, 15, 20 hours a week. Man, I got a uniform allowance. I worked at a propane company right down the street here. They had a little plant down there. Truck would come in every night with empty tanks for forklifts, and I'd fill them up and load the truck back up. I got a uniform allowance. I got a 401k. I got vacation days. I was able to earn vacation days. And I even had a chance of getting health insurance if I wanted. I mean, there's a lot of good going to daggone having a part-time job. There really is. Now, I said before I retired, somebody sent me a comment on that last video. I want to know if I remember that video about me saying I enjoyed planning for retirement so much that I thought I might retire a year and then go back to work, so I could retire again. And I enjoyed planning for retirement, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, it was a great year. You know, to me it was like it's problem solving. You know, there's another guy on here, Mike from the Retirement Train. It's been over a year ago now. He had a video about it being like making a puzzle. You know, you find the right piece to fit in where it goes. And that's what it was like, and I enjoyed it, man. Solving them problems. And not only that, but as I got closer, you know, the excitement built. And you know, I've said it before, it was just like being a kid at Christmas time, man, waiting for Christmas Eve, and you're so excited you can't hardly sleep at night. You know, man, it was great. I really enjoyed planning for it. But, and my whole plan to begin with was take a part-time job. You know, I'd take about a month off and go ahead and get me a part-time job. Last year I worked, they had opened up Tractor Supply right around the corner up here. And I figured, hey man, I'd go down there and knock around 15, 20 hours a week. But then I got concerned because it's just like when I was working part-time at that daggone gas company. You know, I'd go in on my days off. I'd go into the safety meetings they'd have there. They start painting tanks and stuff. I'd go in over there on days where I had time during the daytime hours when they were open and help them paint tanks, junk like that, clean the yard up or whatever, you know. I was worried about getting a part-time job, 15, 20 hours a week, and in 6 months I'd have been up to 40 hours plus and asking for overtime, you know. So I figured I'd go without a part-timer. The first year, just to see how I did. But the problem is, man, is the further I get away from full-time employment, which I've come to grips with that I'll never have again unless it's needed. But the further I get away from having full-time employment, the less I have any desire to even do part-time anymore. You know, it's like I said before I retired, man, that, you know, work was starting to get in the way of my life. You know, in order to keep enjoying life, I needed to cut work out. I didn't need it anymore, so I quit. That's what I did. You know, I didn't actually retire. And I didn't retire to anything. I just quit, man, is what I did. I was tired of it all, man. And I needed a break. And the break has turned into retirement, is what it is. You know, and I said, I made a video one time about it being like I'd heard a guy that won the lottery. He said he'd never quit work, man. He's going to work and not having to. He said it's great. I figured that's the way it was going to be for me. I told the bosses at work I never played the lottery. But once in a while, everybody in my department would get together for when it got real big. So I'd chip in a few bucks. But I told them, man, if I hit, man, everybody else was saying they're going to quit. I said, man, I ain't going nowhere. You're going to have to fire me from this place. But, you know, as you age and you get closer to that date and you figure out you ain't got to be there, I'm figuring, why am I here and putting up with all this if I don't have to be? You know? But, I mean, hey, man, I still keep my eye open, keep an ear to the surroundings, you know. If something comes up, I might be interesting to me. If it's an interesting position, you know, I might take it. You know, I ain't totally against it. It's just that, you know, I'm pushing 2 years in now, and I really ain't got no desire to go back. Hey, man, not everybody is naturally as lazy as I am, man. It takes a lot of it takes good genes, and it takes a lot of practice in order to get as good as I am at it. But don't discount it, man. There's a lot of benefits to it other than just money, and it can really be a boost to your retirement, I believe, anyways. I think it makes the transition a whole lot easier. Instead of going full-time right off, you're backing down little by little. You know, going 100 miles an hour for decades on end down to zero is a shock, and it ain't easy to do. It's something you have to learn. And for me, it's easier to learn stuff a little at a time. I don't know, man. But y'all take care of yourselves, man. You enjoy the rest of your week. Try to stay cool. And we'll talk with y'all later.